Hey guys, Glitcher here, and this is my first YouTube video. Today I'll be talking about my upload schedule, my goals on YouTube, well, the start of my YouTube career, and afterwards I will put some duels I've recorded, and later on explain my deck and the system on which it works. So about my upload schedule, since I'm still in high school, I will not be uploading consistently. I will try to upload at least one video a week, which will, I guess, for the start of my YouTube career be enough. I'll be recording videos on vivid video games, so I'll be jumping from one to another without any consistency. I will also try to do some real life Yu-Gi-Oh deck reviews, uh, pack openings, structure deck openings, some duels maybe even. That will be a bit harder to sort out, but I will try. So yeah, that is what I will be doing on YouTube. Now let me start up the game and I will record a few videos with you. Okay, so here I am watching the replay of the first duel I've recorded. So I will just show you how the game took its turn. So this was turn 1. I was playing against Raid Raptors, so he had a solid hand. Well, with this card, it's a good hand. I had a hand which could pull me out. So it was my turn. First, I activated my Dragon Shrine. With Soul Scry, I restored my Blue Eyes, summoned my Master, and went into Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. I decided to end my turn there, and using the effect of White Stone of Ancients, I special summoned my Blue Eyes White Dragon. I really don't know how Raid Raptor deck works, so if anyone wants to read the effects and anything, just stop the video and check the effects out. So at the end of my turn, I activated a Spirit Dragon's effect, which allowed me to switch to tribute him and special summon a Light Dragon Synchro monster. I special summoned the Jirai Silver Dragon, which protects all dragons on my field from being targeted and destroyed by card effects until the end of the next turn. So he won't get destroyed by Spirit's effect. So I draw, and in my standby phase I special summon a Blue Eyes from my grave. Then I summon White Stone of Ancients and go into another Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. Then I activate the first White Stone of the Ancients effect to try and add my Blue Eyes White Dragon back to my hand to a special summon alternative. But he activated Raid Raptor's Readiness, which later on stopped me from dealing damage to him. I destroyed his Blue Eyes, killed off my alternative who couldn't attack, and special summoned Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. So Master's effect, who got shuffled into deck. Just a second, maybe I can go to previous. I don't know what I've done. Okay, I can't. So I just shuffled my Master into the deck. So his effect says that once he's graveyard, I can tribute one monster on the field, shuffle him into the deck, and special summon a Blue Eyes monster from my graveyard. So that's what I did. I special summoned Spirit Dragon, and then I wanted to attack, but he used the Raid Raptor's Readiness. Once I tried to use White Stone of the Ancients effect, he activated Solemn Strike, which literally killed off my try to summon. Later on, he tried to pull back, tried to get himself back, but I just trolled him here. I allowed him to do that just so that I could return it to the hand. And that's where he surrendered. Let me just load another replay. Okay, so this is another replay. I've played against Dark Magicians, which really is an interesting deck to me. I don't have it built, but I sure will look into it. I think I was going second there, and he had a pretty good hand. I had a mediocre hand, which I extremely badly misplayed with. So let's check this out. So yeah, I think I went first. So I activated my Melody of Awakening Dragon, trying to add Blue Eyes an alternative to my hand. I discarded Return of the Dragon Lords, assuming that later on I will be able to use it to rescue myself. I could have gone with Master, added Whitestone of the Ancients to my deck, and then threw it to the graveyard, but I misplayed. Then I summoned my alternative and discarded my Sage, targeting alternative for destruction to special summon a Blue Eyes from my deck, which was also a misplay. Afterwards, I activated Soul Charge to bring back my troops to the field, as you would say it, which went pretty well, but I still had Spirit and Alternative on the field, which I could have done without, because then first thing he did was activate Raigeki, and I, in response, as I usually do, tributed quickly my Spirit, trying to put on the field my Azure Eyes to save my dragons, but when I realized that that won't work, I tried to save myself by putting Stardust Spark in the field, hoping that I could, I could chain his effect to save at least one of my dragons, and I've already forgot that I put Return of the Dragon Lords to the graveyard. So yeah, that was a great misplay, but still, then he used his pot of, where is it? I can find it. Oh, his pot of desires to banish top 10 of his deck face down and add and draw 2. Let me just see if, yeah, I can see his cards, but oh, he banished 2 Solemn Strikes. Jeez. So then I chained Spark's effect, targeting himself just so that he could stay at least one more turn. He then summoned Windwitch Snowbell, which I don't know why he used, but alright. He then tributed it off to add a Dark Magician to his hand, which didn't help him at all because he couldn't summon it. And then I tried to activate my... I went into Draglon. Okay, so Draglon's effect says that once per turn I can detach a card from him, and if he's alone on the field, I can special summon a dragon from my hand. Unfortunately, he had his warning ready for me, so I couldn't do anything this turn except activate my Silver Scry and attack him directly, of course. So I did 3000 damage to him, and that was all I could do. Then he tried to delude me by activating another Dark Magic Circle, which didn't help him at all, so he just surrendered. So for our last replay, I've played against Mage Spectres, a deck from which I've lost with one version of my Blue Eyes deck. I've lost on the locals against Mage Spectres, which really got me mad. I drew really badly 2 games in a row and just lost. That was pretty embarrassing because just a little kid was playing that deck. So here I went second this game, and I once again misplayed with my Lost Wind. The problem was, this is my first time playing that card, so I really didn't know if it would count if the special summon monster was Pendulum summoned. So he went his first turn, added 2 dragons, are those dragons here? Yeah, 2 dragons, sent the other one to the graveyard, extra deck for pendulums, and summoned QB. Afterwards, he just added 2 traps to his hand, set them, and ended his turn. During my turn, I just started off by summoning Whitestone of the Ancients, discarding Sage to kill it. Well, you will see for yourself. I drew Effect Wailer, which I later on used quite well, but it couldn't help me much. I then activated my Dragon Shrine, discarding my Blue Eyes and Whitestone of Ancients, and then I just decided to Soul Charge it since I realized that I couldn't summon any monsters, and I knew that I would probably get obliterated next turn. So I went into 2 Dragon Spirits of White later on, here, let us get to that point. So first he banished that. I went to two Dragon Spirits of White, clearing his board completely and summoning another Dragon Spirit of White and Blue Eyes White Dragon. Then his turn, well, that deck really trolls me because he just sets scales, summons, goes into Xyzs or Xyz monsters or anything. So you see, this is where I misplayed with Lost Wind. I didn't know if I could use it on QB, so I was forced to use it on my Blue Eyes. Fortunately, he didn't attack it, but it could have gone much worse from this point on. He then adds Mage Spectre Tornado, a card which I absolutely hate, but I later on lost my Dragon Spirit of White thanks to it. Afterwards I used my Foolish Burial to send Master to the graveyard, summoned my Veiler, activated Master's effect, and got one Blue Eyes in the field. After that I went into my, well, almost favorite card in this deck, Twin Burst, who could have attacked both of his monsters had he not used Mage Spectre Tempest, which I think he has to tribute one Wind Spellcaster monster and negate the summon of my monster. So yeah, he trolled me a bit with that, but yeah, then he banished my Dragon Spirit of White. I tried to tribute off my spirit just so I could save it by putting on, just a second, by putting Azure Eyes on the field. I tried to save my spirit because Azure Eyes blocks dragons from being targeted and destroyed, but this still went on. I didn't know if it would continue the chain or not. So yeah, I've lost my dragon and dealt 2500 damage to him. After that he could do almost nothing, but he still top decked terraforming and successfully summoned a lot of monsters on the field. Well, a lot. I thought he would summon a lot. He summoned just QB and added the Mage Spectre Tornado. After that I summoned Spirit, tried to banish his thing, but he tried to banish my monster. In response to that I summoned Spark and later, using Sage, summoned another Blue Eyes. And I won this battle phase. So yeah, I won this duel pretty quickly. I misplayed a lot, but I think that is all the time I have for this video. I will try to make another one for next week, or I will try to squeeze another video in this weekend. I hope I'll succeed. If I don't, I will see you guys next week. Goodbye.